Hey guys, it's me Maxxy Rainbow and I'm back for another video. So today I am out here in the park just outside of the venue of Pala Alpitor, which is the venue for Eurovision 2022. I kind of have just been sitting in my house the last 2 days. Yesterday I at least felt justified because I had an interview to do, but it was online, so I kind of was stuck inside, and then I was in drag, so I was like, I'm not going out alone because it still doesn't feel very Eurovision-y out here, if that makes sense. Like, I think because press are still not in the actual press room, people are stopping by to take pictures, but nobody's really hanging out here. So, in an effort to not stay locked inside, given that I am in a foreign country and I paid all this money to get here, I should not stay inside of my apartment. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to film this outside today. So I'm kind of getting to a point now that I've been here for like a week and a half, and I had such an extensive, also, I don't know how, this is a good test to see how background noise is affected by this, because there's a lot of noises going on out here. I think because I went so ham the first time I came out here, now I just don't know what to do. Like, I feel like I've seen everything, I've gone everywhere. I know I haven't, but I've seen the majority of stuff. So I'm like, I could go back to that park, I could go back to that monument, but I'm not, sure if that's what I want to do. So today, of course, we're talking about the fourth day of rehearsals, which was also the second half of the first semifinal. Sorry, I get so awkward filming out like side around all these people. I really shouldn't, but I do. So the countries that rehearsed today were Ireland, North Macedonia, Estonia, Romania, Poland, Montenegro, Belgium, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. And that completes all of our regular entries. So first up we had Brook from Ireland. I don't know if I would say I'm fully impressed by what I'm seeing through these photos. It looks very fresh, it looks very modern, but I'm not too sure if it's enough to pull it really through to the final. This semi is looking to be really, really impressive, and I mean, she looks amazing. I love her hair, I love her makeup, I love her outfit. There's pyro, there's fireworks, there's a lot of impressive stuff going on. I think I actually like it more with a darker background. And I do fear if they do end up getting the LEDs. I know that they made a statement today saying that the sun is not going to rotate, so all 40 of them are going to be stuck with the same setting, which I don't think is very bad, but we don't yet know if it's going to be the back of the sun or if it's going to be the LED side. So I actually like it with the non-LED side just because it kind of darkens up the stage, makes it a little bit less open, and I think that that's always good. I think it darkens up the stage and makes it a little bit more intimate. It looks good. I don't know. We have to see it with camera angles. It's one that doesn't necessarily impress me fully based on these photos, but I need to stop expecting everybody to bring in like huge giant props that are like, not every song is made for that. So, but she sounds really, really good. But the benefit for her is that she's very charismatic. She has a really strong voice. I think that all of those things are going to work in her favor, especially because there's some countries that do not have either of those things. A lot can be said for a really charismatic performer that can really sell the song. So we shall see. But I'm still not 100% sold, especially given that they follow Cyprus. I'm not really quite sure how that's going to go for them. All right, so next up to rehearse was Macedonia with their singer Andrea. Guys, I don't know about this. It looks really cool in some of these still shots, but I do worry about her being here alone. There is this shot with all the lights kind of forming this interesting shape, which I haven't seen any of the entries do. I think that looks really, really cool. Even without an LED, they're kind of creating movement with those lights. I think that looks great. The thing is the song is just not strong, like whatsoever. It's like the most basic of basic songs this year, frankly. So I'm not really sure if the staging is doing enough to really benefit it in any kind of way. I like the fire, the water kind of elements that I see juxtapositioned. But yeah, I'm just not really sure if it's enough to really pull it through in the end. It looks really good. I love her styling. I think this all black kind of, I don't know, it's dramatic, this long coat. It looks really good. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of the entries that are kind of like meh songs in here, and the ones that are not pulling through with anything extravagant with the staging, then you're just kind of like, not really sure what we're doing here. I'm not really sure if I'm fully on board. I don't know. I mean, it looks really good and like dark. It looks fully solid, but again, nothing on first glance that really makes it stand out. I need to see the camera angles to really know for sure. All right, so next up to rehearse was Estonia with Stefan. I think that this is one entry that is going to be really hurt by the lack of an LED if they so choose to not use the LED side, because these pictures are looking really empty. The just black lights, like there's not a lot of the spotlights, I feel like, moving in any interesting directions or anything. I think that this really needs that LED to bring in a really nice environment. I don't know, some of these pictures, they just look really sad and empty. I hope that they bring in the two guys that have like a duel, but I also heard that they're kind of straying a little bit further from the so literal cowboy western interpretation, and I understand that in some ways, but it also is what makes this song so cool. So it makes me kind of sad if we're not going to have like much of those elements. But if nothing else, at least, you know, I kind of understand his styling and stuff being toned down, and I actually like what he's wearing. I would at least like the LEDs and the images to kind of pull through that image. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a Western song, so you don't really want to stray too far away from this Western idea. So, oh gosh, it's really windy. It's supposed to storm today, so I could tell everybody's already starting to leave because it's supposed to rain soon. But not yet. I mean, now on the radar, it's not even saying it's supposed to rain, so I don't know. Maybe it'll drizzle a little bit, but it's getting real windy, so I don't really know. I do at least appreciate that they have him down kind of on that second stage that not a lot of people have really been utilizing. At least there's that. I mean, it looks good, but I think that before I had it as a sure 100% qualifier, I still think it's going to qualify, but based on these pictures at least, it's not giving me 100% going to qualify standards, but he has a great voice. And again, we need to see the camera angles to really know for sure. All right, so next up to perform was Romania, WRS. Do they say verse? Like, do they pronounce it, or is it just WRS? I don't know if I ever figured that out. This actually looks really, really good. I love the staging. It's very classy. It's very Spanish. It gives those vibes, and the dancers and everybody looks so fucking good. It looks very elevated from the national final performance. It's still very dark with these orangey red warm tones coming through. It looks really, really nice. It looks expensive, and I'm very, very excited. These pictures look really good. The only thing, the kind of viral moment of today was the lack of the LED and it kind of like blocking out the lyrics, because their LED in the background, there's like an LED behind the stage, and then there's the sun that also has an LED. And the LED behind the stage has the lyrics, but of course it's blocked off by the sun. That doesn't work. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll see if they have time to change that. They don't have time to change that, but we'll see if they end up using the LED side. Hopefully they do. Everybody's walking towards this pond that's in front of me. I don't know what's going on. But it looks really, really good. And of course, they're great, like, choreography and everything like that. Good, like an amazing performer. So he at least has that going for him. Yeah, I mean, this looks really, really good. This is the first one of today where I'm like, that looks great. There's a really cute dog right behind my camera. It's just like waddling forward. That is the cutest dog I've ever seen. It's so adorable. He's just hobbling along, very cute. Okay. So next up to perform was Poland, and guys, this actually looks really amazing to me. Let me tell you why. Because they could have easily put him on the stage absolutely alone and, you know, risk not filling out the stage, making it look very empty. They kept it really dark with just those hints of blue coming through. I'm going to assume they're going to bring some red in, but maybe they don't. I mean, not in any of these pictures that they have it, but I think that would be really cool at the end, kind of have this like glaring red light coming through. But they didn't put him on the stage alone. They have these kind of like demonic Dementor figures going on. It represents death, and it's just really dark and really cool. It's kind of similar to, you know, think like Kate Miller-Heidke, how she had her little demons reaching for her, trying to grab at her. It looks like they're going to create something really dynamic and interesting where they could have just had it really boring, him standing on the stage and doing nothing. So I think that they actually look like they did a lot. And he has an amazing voice. He's one of the best vocalists of this year. So they did really, really good. All right, so next up to rehearse was Montenegro with Vladana. The wind is really picking up. And it's getting very, very chilly, so I'm glad I brought a hoodie. I almost didn't. You know what? I was actually very nervous for her because I love her style. I love her fashion. It's very over the top and like avant-garde and just weird at times, which I love. But I was nervous about how she was going to do that on the stage because there are always people who just will not vote for an entry because they don't like somebody's outfit or whatever, you know, and they just can't see beyond their own generic ideas. I do hear there's something crazy that she's going to do with her outfit. She said in her TikTok that they're not going to show it until the actual live show, which makes me nervous. I'm like, they better at least be rehearsing it, right? Because if they're not rehearsing it, then that, you know, we saw with the sun what could go wrong. But they said that there's something more to the dress, which is really interesting. But I mean, it looks beautiful. It's still stunning. She still has an amazing style. I like that they, you know, I think it's a little bit more palatable for everybody else watching. So I think that that's at least good for her. The staging is beautiful with all the fog and everything like that. You know, it doesn't blow me away necessarily, but they didn't do anything wrong, which is sometimes my fear with Macedonia because Macedonia typically does things very wrong a lot of the times. Although last year they kind of did outstanding. But I really am rooting for Vladana to have her proud moment. I'm rooting for her to really like get an amazing result for Macedonia because she really deserves it. This is an outstanding song. This is still one of my favorites. She looks stunning. The staging is perfectly good. I'd be interested to see with the LED and the, you know, the camera shots, of course, but I like that she's standing by the water because, you know, there's not too many people utilizing that. So I appreciate anybody that's doing that. I think it's a really nice visual and at least the water works. Next up to rehearse was Belgium, and y'all, I have not really like heard anything about Belgium. I don't hear anybody saying it's their favorite entry. I don't hear anybody saying anything about it. So I really had no idea what to expect with this. I really just have no expectations whatsoever. I don't know if having the dancers and everybody in all black with the, you know, background being all black is the best idea. But of course, they might not have anticipated the LED not working, and therefore they might have something different actually planned with the LED. An issue that I have with him that, you know, I have every year, there's somebody that gives off this vibe of somebody who you really don't know anything about them personally. He looks like they styled him in a certain way, and he didn't have too much of a say in anything. So I don't know what this person's yelling about, but oh, he's yelling at his dog. Yeah, he doesn't look like like I don't get a vibe of who he is whatsoever. Every time I've seen, like, I haven't seen really anything about him. And I think that that's one thing, like, I should actually watch his press conference because I know absolutely nothing about him. But his performance looks like kind of generic performance that could go with a lot of different singers, a lot of different songs. It doesn't have a lot of like artistic, anything specific to him as an artist or who he is. Maybe I just haven't made the effort to actually learn anything about him, but they're certainly not doing a good job of that in terms of the staging and the styling and stuff. It's just like, it's something that you would see a male pop star wearing. The staging looks like it could be really effective and dramatic, but again, nothing that really blows me away. I kind of was hoping, actually, I don't like it. I don't like it, actually. The more I look at it, I'm like, they're in jeans. They're all in jeans and like streetwear, which is perfectly fine. Streetwear is fine. But it looks too casual to me. Somehow, even with a shiny silver jacket, it looks too casual for me. I wish they ended up going with the styling in the music video where he was kind of in these like holy, godly, almost like cult-ish with the all white. I think that would have looked a lot better. More expensive and like it's a performance that's actually going on. But I don't know. We're going to have to see. But I'm not loving what I'm seeing. I don't know. Let me watch the TikTok and see if there's any visuals that I see going on here. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe with the LED working, it'll look a little bit better. I don't know. Oh, what are these dance moves? I mean, this is a dark horse for me because I really just don't know how to feel or what to expect with this entry. We're just going to have to see. I have no idea. Next up to rehearse, of course, was Sweden with Cornelia, and she looks really good. It's the same as the national selection. So you guys know how I feel about that. The thing is, Sweden always does that. So I was expecting it. But for me as a fan, I always get so bored. I'm always like, do something, switch something up a little bit. I mean, seriously, the only thing different, no, actually she's wearing the same exact outfit. I was thinking maybe she changed her outfit. It's exactly the same. So that's going to be good for the viewers on the night because it's a really good song and I really like I like the original performance, but it's growing old for me as a fan. You know, I've seen it. Oh gosh, I should have brought some water or something. It's growing old for me as a person who's watched her performance now over and over and over again. At first I was like, this blows me away, and now it's starting to fall behind for me, but it's not falling behind for the fans because I think everybody has this as like who they want to win. Not for me, but I wouldn't be mad if Sweden won, but I think there's more exciting entries going on. It's still a really, really good entry, of course. I just think as a fan, I want something to change a little bit. Like, I would want to switch up my performances every single time so that, you know, every single time you watch this performance, it's all the same, no matter where you are. I don't know if that's as fun. Like, utilize the stage a little bit more. Although, they were smart to not utilize the stage because the stage is falling apart. So, at least they have that going for them. Let's watch the TikTok. I actually really like the blazer she's wearing in this TikTok over the shirt. I think it actually looks cool. Yeah, it looks really good, but it's just the exact same thing that we just saw. So last up to rehearse today was the Czech Republic with We Are Domi. This was one of those entries that I think I was personally really anticipating what they were going to bring, because what we've been seeing in the pre-parties and stuff has been kind of a mess. I don't quite understand the styling fully, but I do think it actually looks cool. They're going for this kind of like glitchy, electronic glitchy effect that with her styling, with the staging. They've got like these wires from like a computer like motherboard on the stage, which I think looks really, really cool. I would actually love more of the kind of exposed wiring going on. I think if they wanted to go all in with that staging, that would be really, really cool. It's not enough for me. It's not bad though. She looks really, really good. But I think that it's not very clear visually what they're trying to do. I like the idea of having the exposed pieces of the computer, of all the like music and stuff like that behind them, but it does look very messy. And I know that they're going for like kind of a disheveled thing going on, but you can do messy and it still look very on purpose, and I don't know if they fully did that. I think that my biggest criticism, everything just looks like it needs to be a little bit bigger, but they're very lucky that a lot of their photos are kind of close-up photos, because in this picture with all the lights going in a million different directions, I think that looks really, really good, and I'm excited to see how that goes. But I'm also very nervous because I've been really loving the way that looks with a lot of the staging. However, if they spin the sun around so that it's the LED side instead, I don't know if we're going to have any of that. So it's like some of the entries, they need the LED, and some of them need those lights. And it makes me very concerned that we're not going to be able to have both. There's stuff flying off of these trees. I think it's been landing in my mouth or something, and that's why I'm coughing, because now I'm looking at myself and I'm like covered in it. All right, so that is it for my reaction to day 4 of the rehearsals for Eurovision 2022. Nobody really blew me away today. Yesterday, they really saved all the good staging for yesterday, for the first half of the semifinal. I guess I'd say my top 3 of the day is, of course, Sweden. I mean, they look great. It's going to be great. I also really love Poland. I think that Romania did amazing as well. And so I think that Poland, Romania, Sweden are my winners of today. I also really like Montenegro. Nobody blew me away though. Like, those are not like, they're all kind of interchangeable. Nobody did bad necessarily today, but I will say my least favorite of the day was Belgium. It just doesn't give off the expensive richness that I feel like it really could give off with the performance. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I also don't know how people are taking this whatsoever. I have no idea. Those are just my personal thoughts. So yeah, guys, that is it for my reaction and recap of day 4 of rehearsals. Are we excited? Let me know in the comments down below who your favorites were from today. Did you have anybody stand out, anything like that? And are you excited for tomorrow to see the Big 5 finally rehearse? I'm assuming they're rehearsing tomorrow, right? I never really know how this goes. I think the press room also opens tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think it does. So that's going to be really exciting. I will not be there. I actually have some interviews to film tomorrow, which is very, very exciting. I'm not going to say who I'm interviewing. I can't. It's so unfortunate I can't say, because people have been emailing, messaging artists and their press people telling me them not to have me interview with them. So I have to be very quiet about who I'm interviewing, but I'm very, very excited about my 2 interviews tomorrow. They're going to be amazing. I just have to worry about getting to both of their hotels, which are on opposite sides of the city, and I'm going to be in drag taking a taxi to it. Like, I hope I'm not late. Let's just say that. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. If you would like to see more from me while I'm here in Turin, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of that. And yeah, guys, my name is Maxxy Rainbow. I will see you all later. Goodbye. Mwah.